can do.
I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him big.
Hello racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, August the 17th races at Hastings, as well as after our Hastings picks, we'll touch on the Canadian Derby, which will be run today at Northlands Park.
Yeah, there's also a few other stakes there that today. There's a older mare stake that has a lot of local interest with Dash and Daisy, Madeira Park,
Right.
Saturday Night Ride, Go Sail Go, yeah.
And also, I think Senior Rojo is in as well.
Senior Rojo is in, and Commander. Yep, they're in an older, and Shrug.
Yeah,
Shrug is in that race
lots of
too.
local horses running, even on the undercard in Edmonton on their Canadian Derby program. But of course, the big one of the day, the Canadian Derby, $200,000 race mile. 3/8's not for everyone, but it's a tough, demanding distance. But
always a good race.
It is always a good race. The best horse doesn't always win. It's just the one that wants to run that far.
That's right.
Anyway, let's get on to the Saturday selections. We do have 7 races on tap at Hastings. In race number 1, there are $4,000 fillies and mares going 6.5. I've ended up on the 2 closing intentions. Been a great filly this year, and hasn't missed the board. 3 wins. Just continues to run big races. Just a cool filly for Melanie Walters. Amadeo Perez seems to get along very well with her. Has some versatility, can show speed, can come from off it, and that's a big key on our racetrack, when you can kind of adapt to certain situations and be able to be versatile. And I like closing intentions to win it. Put the 3-horse Danny's Chant. Gonna hope that Marty can just get her out there and go and see how far she can last. And I put the 1-horse Cinnamon Halo in for third. She's been in good form. This is her last race anyway. I went 2, 3, and 1. But I really do like closing intentions. I think that's a good solid key in here.
Me too. I got closing intentions on top. I see her being the boss in here. After that, it opens right up. I got Cinnamon Halo in the second spot, your third pick. And I put Maida Vale out of the Jim Brown barn in the third spot. Skelly gets along good with her. Just got beat a length in 3/4, 2 back, going 6.5. So she'll probably be part of the pace scenario. See how long she can hang on. But closing intentions, I think, is a single. I got 2, 1, and 5. On to the second race. 3-year-olds and up, claiming 4,000. Going 6.5 furlongs. Non-winners of the year, I went with the 1 Mullover. A couple of good efforts. One for 10,000 rand, the Lookout Dubai, who came back to win for 15, then came back around a good second for 25. The last time I liked him was up near a fairly hot pace, and Raising Memo came from dead last and won. Craig McPherson puts him in aggressively in the non-winners of the year for 4,000. I think that makes him too tough in here. The other horse I have in the second spot is Navajo Knight, owned by our good friends Lance and Kim Giesbrecht. Good second last time under Kishan Balgobin, going 6.5 behind Dog Rock. I do like the move to Amadeo Perez, however, our leading rider currently at Hastings Park. I have him in the second spot. And the third spot, I put the 6 Dilwyn, a horse that always seems to be closing. He's got versatile kinds of running. He can be on the lead, he can come from off it, and always seems to pick up the pieces. After the top 2, I had trouble. I put Dilwyn in the third spot. I got 1, 3, and 6.
I got the same 3. I've got Mullover on top. It's going to take a real subpar performance for this horse to lose, I would think. I've been chasing some quick paces and flattening out, and I don't know. I was looking around for horses to try and beat him, and it was really tough to come up with one. I put Dilwyn in the second spot. He's a horse that, he's had 1 win from 9 starts this year, but he's a horse that he's eligible to go down there in 17 and change on any day, and he might jump up. And I put the 3 Navajo Knight. Wish there was more speed in the race to help him out, because he does come from so far out of it. But it just looks like Mullover is going to get the lead, or going to get a great trip on sitting on some slow fractions, and you're not going to get any money for him. It's probably 3 to 5 or 4 to 5 likely on Mullover, but I'd probably win the money. I went 1, 6, and 3 in the second race. On to the third. Got some $5,000 claimers going a mile on the 16th. Ended up on the 4-horse Sufi Dancer, who I think will get a good trip on or near the lead. This horse didn't get the best of trips last time. The final time was pretty fast. Blade Scuffler came back to run very well last weekend against a lot better company than this. So I just think Sufi Dancer is the best horse in here. Whatever trip he endures, I think he'll be able to overcome it. I think he's going to be dangerous. But the 5-horse Raising Memo, he's right back in. Come back in a week after a last to first performance under Amadeo Perez, but Amadeo Perez ends up on the 3 True Grit, who will be my third pick. A little bit of jockey switching around here, and but ends up on True Grit, and who he won on very easily last time. So maybe there's more in the tank on True Grit. So maybe I could have flip-flopped those two.
Yeah.
But I do like the 4 Sufi Dancer to win. I went 4, 5, and 3.
Me too. I got Sufi Dancer on top. Last time he ran for 5,000, he absolutely crushed the field.
Yeah.
He won by 4 1/4 lengths. He goes up to 8, and it just seems maybe sometimes just be a bit much for him, but when he drops his $5,000 level, he's
money.
deadly.
Yeah.
So I have him on top. I've raised him on the second spot, as you mentioned. In the third spot, I put Alexa, a horse that is a deep closer for Brian Phillips. It wouldn't surprise me to see him come running late and maybe get a piece of it. So I threw him in the third spot. But I'm with you. I really like Sufi Dancer. I got 4, 5, and 7. On to the fourth race. Allowance race for 3-year-olds and up. Fillies and Mares. I got the 1 Graffiti Grace. It took me a second to remember this was for Fillies and Mares because the last time she had to run against the boys, against El Capone and Twist Grips.
Yeah.
Now she gets in against the girls. I think that makes her the boss in here. Graffiti Grace is a pretty nice filly. If there's anybody's going to beat her, I don't mind the 2 Pretty Reckless. I know it's a big step
5,
up to go
5 Pretty
from.
You said the 2.
Sorry, the 5.
I
I got her in the second spot.
Yeah, that's it. I know I get that little 2 on there.
Pretty Reckless, the number 5.
Huge performance.
Yeah, very big performance first out. I know maybe she didn't beat a whole lot. She takes a jump up in class, but maybe she's good enough. It was a very impressive performance. 16 and 4 she ran in.
That's crazy.
Won by open length, so who knows? Maybe she's that good. And the third spot, Vino Terra, one I've been picked many times this year, and seems to just keep getting beat. Beat by decent horses, though, with Dance to Win, one of our top 3-year-old fillies around here, Lady Henrietta, and, of course, Saturday Night Ride, who went on to win a stake in Alberta. So any one of those 3 wouldn't surprise me. I got 1, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I've got the same 3 horses. I did go to Graffiti Grace to win. I was equally as impressed with her third-place run against the boys behind El Capone and Twist Grips. I thought the only problem with her in this race is I don't really think she's going to like the rail. And she's not great out of the gate. If Frank can get her into position early, and we should note to everyone that there's a reason that all these riders are switching.
They're
Canadian
in Alberta,
Derby today, you got Aaron Grider, Richard Hamill, Scott Williams,
Enrique Gonzalez.
There's 4 riders out in Edmonton, so that's why you see a lot of switching of jocks in this race. But Graffiti Grace, I think, is the best horse, but might get beat. If she gets beat, it'll just be because of the post. She gets shuffled back down on the inside because she's not great leaving there. I put the 6-horse Vino Terra in for second. As you mentioned, filly that we both picked quite often. Her best race of the year was her first one. It might have taken a lot out of her when running second behind Dance to Win in an optional 35. Then she got into those easier non-2 allowance races, and she couldn't get the job done against Lady Henrietta and Saturday Night Ride and horses that she should beat. Maybe Saturday Night Ride's all right because she ended up winning a stake in Edmonton, but still, she's been freshened up, gets leading rider, and good work. So perhaps more will be shown from Vino Terra. I put the 5 Pretty Reckless. I agree with you that this horse was very impressive in her maiden score, and sky's the limit. You don't know how good she is. She won easy. Yeah. I went 1, 6, and 5 in the Saturday 4th. On to the 5th race. Got some $4,000 fillies and mares. Non-2 lifetime. Going a mile and a 16th. I landed on the 5-horse Haida Gwaii for Mike Anderson. I thought a good run last time off the layoff and was wide, made an early move, and there's lots going on in that race. And she boxed on. She had every reason to get a little tired in the stretch. I'm going to forgive her for that and give her another shot in here. I know she lost to Catching Cash and Doreen's Delight, but she was off a couple months or 6 weeks and just had a horrendous trip from post 8, so I'm going to hope that she has a better one from post 5. I put the 2-horse Catching Cash and the 4 Till the Victory in behind her. I think Catching Cash has been pretty consistent, likes the trip, and she's always on or near the money at this level, and she's got speed, and so she's going to be in position. And the 4-horse Till the Victory went a little too fast last time against some better horses in a non-3-8, gets into a non-2-4 here after battling on the head end with Pine Walk. But still, I think she'll get a lot out of that race. Second run off the claim, she comes back for 4. I like 5, 2, and 4. I do like Haida Gwaii in here. Not a love thing, but I like her.
I went with Kachin Cash, your second pick. One that's been consistent at this level. Last time she ran the distance, she got beat just a half length by Mazel's Secret, who was a non-3. So I got Kachin Cash on top. I put Tail of Victory, one you just mentioned, in the second spot. Very impressive, was claimed the day that she broke her maiden and only her 3rd start. Dropped down to maiden 5, was claimed by Kelly Rycroft. Then went up into that Pine Walk Forever Mean race, which is much tougher than what she's facing here. So I have her in the 3rd spot. And in the second spot, sorry, in the third spot, I put Doreen's Delight. Amadeo Perez taking over for Enrique Gonzalez, who is in Alberta. And another one that was just back from Kaching Cash in the last, and she fits this condition nicely for Hall of Fame conditioner Harold Barabee. I have 2, 4, and 6 in the fifth. On the sixth, 3-year-olds and up, 4,000, non-3, going a mile and a tick. And I've gone to Final Flair in here. Was running right in the 4,000 non-2, he won that. Then he went up to the non-3 7,500 and ran into Waylon Jack and Pat Square on Timeless Storm. And those are pretty tough horses, so I forgive him for his fourth place finish there. Drops into a 4,000 non-3, and I think he fits well in here. I have Final Flair on top. The second spot, I put Fox Be Gone. Hit his non-2, 4,000, won that. Came back, just got beat a neck by Count Green. Was unlucky to lose that day. Count Green made a big move. Just got him very late. So Fox Be Gone fits well in here. I have him in the second spot. And in the third spot, I put number 4, Sacred Cause. A horse that's been very consistent this year, always hitting the board. Just broke his non-2 4,000 last time. I think he fits pretty good in the non-3 4,000 for Craig McPherson. I got 8, 5, and 4.
Yeah, I got the same 3, but I'm going to switch them around a little bit. I put the 4-horse Sacred Cause on top. Pretty impressed with the way he closed the last part of a very slowly run race to the opening 6 furlongs. And Alex Marty gets along very nicely with this horse for top conditioner Craig McPherson. And I'm just going to try Sacred Cause again. I picked him quite often this year, and he's actually rewarded me with some pretty good mutuals.
Yeah.
I put the 8-horse Final Flair in for second. He gets back out to a mile and a 16th. Gets into a better level, though, the non-3 for 4 instead of the non-3 8. Couldn't quite stay with Waylon Jack, Pat Square on Timeless Storm, but I think he will fit very nicely into this spot, and I certainly don't think he'll mind Amadeo Perez being on his back either. And I agree with the 5, Fox Be Gone for third. I like 4 and 8 on first, and those are my interchangeable top 2. Then Fox Be Gone would be my third pick, but that's the way I see it in race 6. I got 4, 8, and 5. On to the 7th and final live race at Hastings. $3,000 fillies and mares that have not hit the board this year. Going 6.5 furlongs. I went to the 7-horse Fools Never Know. I think likely the speed of the race, and he should make him dangerous off of his runner-up effort to, or her runner-up effort to We Are One. Come back with a great work in 46 and change, a little faster than I would like to see, but hopefully there's something left in the tank after that pretty zippy move last week. But I like Fools Never Know. Put the 1 Revster in for second. Not a horse I love, but I think just you got to pick someone for third. Or second, pardon me. I put the 3 Pay Me Notice in for third. A tough trip in his first up run this year. Didn't get the best of it. Was out wide a lot of the go. And I just think he's a horse that can improve off of that first up run. Looks like he's going to get a better trip. The price might be right for Pay Me Notice. So I went 7, 1, and 3. But I think the Speedy Fools Never Know is going to be tough to catch.
I agree. I got the 7 on top under the always dangerous Robert V. Skelly.
Yes, he is dangerous.
For the reasons you mentioned.
The V for victory?
The V stands for victory. Fools Never Know looks like a horse that's going to be very tough to beat in here. I put Our Dubai Girl. Kind of took a flyer on Our Dubai Girl. She jumps up and wins when you least expect it at big odds. And I like the work the other day, that 101 on August 10th. So maybe Frankie tightened her up a little bit, got her focused on running. She's one that will surprise you every now and then and pay a big price, which she would today. And then the third spot, I put Revster for the reasons you mentioned out of the Phil Hall barn. Fits very nicely in this condition. Ran third behind Camino, and We Are One came back to win that. She's a candidate, obviously, to be in the mix here. I have 7, 6, and 1. And that will do it for our analysis of the Saturday, August 17th.
Yep, August the 17th.
August 17th card. Up next will be our slates for our picks. Mike, as always, you go
Back in
first.
race number 1, I went to the 2-horse, Closing Intentions, 2, 3, 1. Race number 2, I went to the 1, Mull Over, 1, 6, and 3. Race number 3, the 4-horse, Sufi Dancer, 4, 5, and 3. Race number 4, the 1, Graffiti Grace over the 6, Vino Terra, and the 5, Pretty Reckless. 5th race, the 5, High to Go High, 5, 2, 4. The 6th race, number 4, Sacred Cause over the 8, Final Flare, and the 5, Fox Be Gone. And the 7th and final, I went to the 7, Fools Never Know, 7, 1, 3.
On to my picks here. Me and Mike are very similar today. We have a lot of the same horses. In the first, I am as well on the 2, Closing Intentions over the 1 and the 5. The second as well, I'm on the 1, Mull Over the 3 and the 6. In the third, again, I'm with Mike on number 4, Sufi Dancer. I like Sufi Dancer today over the 5 and the 7. And again in the fourth, number 1, Graffiti Grace over the 5 and the 6. I finally stray from Mike's pick in the 5th race to number 2, Kaching Cash over the 4 and the 6. The 6th race, number 8, Final Flare over the 5 and the 4. And again, we get back together in the 7th race on number 7, Fools Never Know.
All right, of course, today is Canadian Derby Day at Edmonton's Northlands Park. They have numerous stakes races on their program. It's going to be a great afternoon.
Yeah,
Don't
this is
forget
their
to
big day of the
watch
year,
on your simulcast screens for Edmonton's Canadian Derby. It's race 12 on their program. It's scheduled to go about 4:45 our time here.
Yeah.
There is a full gate of 12 of them going a mile and 3/8. We'll quickly touch on the race. A $200,000 event. Mile and 3/8 is always a tough distance. Not every horse can get it.
It is tricky, yeah.
And the horse I think that will get it, and I think he's going to get a very good pace to run at, is a locally owned horse. Number 1, Shooting Jacket. I think this horse gets. I think it's going to be 47 opening half.
Yeah,
that's going to be lively.
It's going to be pretty crowded up front, I think.
But he's won 2 of his 3 starts since arriving here. He was one of the purchases from the Darley package, the Swift Thoroughbreds. Bought earlier in the year, but he won his first up run over Leo's in the house. He just made this big sweeping move from last. Yeah. Then he got bottled up in behind a slow pace, and he ran very quick. It was not his best trip. Then he finally got to stretch out. He's a hard spun out of a Mr. Prospector mare. He finally got to stretch out. He had no pace in front of him. 24-2 opening quarter, and he just sprinted around them. He just looped the field, and it was really impressive. Yeah. The only negative, he hasn't run since Canada Day, and but hopefully he's good to go. His works are excellent. Look at that, 7/8 and 124. That's huge.
That's
as
nice.
Fast as you can run around our Hastings Oval.
Yeah.
But Scott Williams to ride, and I just think he's going to be held back, going to make one big run. He's going to be dangerous. I think he can beat them all. I put the 12-horse title contender, who probably has the best resume of any horse in the race.
Yeah.
He's come in from Thistledown, which is in Ohio. Did win the Ohio Derby. He's been running against some very nice horses back east at Churchill and in Oakland Park. He did have a work up in Toronto after being purchased. Probably moved to the O'Callaghan barn for Anita Bolton, and then was shipped out to Edmonton. And but this horse, if he can overcome the 12 hole, could be. He's a major threat.
He wouldn't surprise me.
No, he's not a surprise.
No.
And I don't know. I just think he's really live in here. So I really like the 1 and the 12, and I really didn't care for any. But success rate in the mix as well. Success rate or Broadway Empire would be my third horse, is the 8 or the 11. But I really like the 1. The 1's the horse I like 1 and 12.
I did go to the favorite, number 11, Broadway Empire. Absolutely crushed in his maiden score at Phoenix. First start for Robert Diodoro. I believe he was part of a package type.
Yes, he was a Mercedes
type
stable
purchase as well.
package that was bought by Robert.
Absolutely crushed by 16 his first start. They turned down a big number for him after that. Then he came home and ran a good second over at Hollywood Park. Ran back in the affirmed. Seemed to be a bit much for him. That was in June. They gave him like a month off, took him up to Edmonton, and his first start at Edmonton was super impressive. He took the track very well, won by 7 1/4, very easily, just absolutely under a gallop. It's his home court. Diodoro does very well there. His works look good. Gets leading rider Rico Walcott. All systems go. I got Broadway Empire on top. I put title contender in the second spot. 12 hole I'm not crazy about for either of my horses. They're both on the outside. But for the reasons Mike mentioned, probably the best resume in the race, and it would not be a surprise to me to see him win. And I put success rate. I like the connections. Dennis Terry training for North American Thoroughbreds. They're having a big meet at Alberta, as they always do. This horse traveled more mileage than Lewis and Clark to get to Edmonton last time, and I think that showed. He was just absolutely flat. I think he's a better horse, so I'm going to go back to him and give him another shot. He's been around for a while, he's settled, and I think he'll come back and run a much better race under Aaron Greider. I got 11, 12, and 8 in the
Canadian Derby.
We'll put our slats up here where you can see our picks. Mike is first,
1, 12, and 8. Yeah,
nice to go to the home horse there, Shooting Jacket.
He's a nice. I just think he's the one that's going to get the mile. I'm just worried about the 11 Broadway Empire getting the mile.
Yeah, but it would be great for Swift Thoroughbreds and, of course, Dino Condolinos and Scott Williams. There's my picks. I went with the hometown favorite here, Broadway Empire. Done a little wrong in his career and looks like a monster. Again, the question is mile and 3/8, but I got him on top. Title contender in second and success rate. My bottom 2 horses, same as Mike's. Should be one heck of a race.
Should be a great race.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner. We hopefully enjoy the Saturday program at Hastings. as well as at Northlands Park.
Yeah.
It's a great day for the the western part of Canada, and it should be a lot of interest in the Canadian.
For those of you watching at home too, I believe it's CBC or TSN that always.
I think TSN.
TSN, I believe, will be broadcasting the. Check your local listings, but I believe it's TSN will be broadcasting the Canadian.
And they will be broadcasting the Canadian Derby right here at the Derby Bar and
Of
Grill.
course we will.
Well, and Chef Andy will have lots going on.
And it's the first day of the P&E, so if you want to avoid the P&E
Avoid the
crowds,
P&E, get out here.
we got free parking.
Free parking and no lineups.
That's right.
Okay, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
Football Rivera bite. I hear his foot's all right. Of course, it all depends if it red last night. I know it's not.